Hi, this is Jenny. Welcome to my final day of our 3-day beginner yoga challenge. Thank you so much for joining us and staying with us these last couple days. Today, we're going to do our 30-minute easy yoga sequence, and I'm going to add in a little extra option today. We're introducing some props. So if you have blocks at home and you just haven't used them, pull them out. If you've got some big books, you can use those as well. If you'd like to use these specific ones, I love them. We'll put a link in the bio for you to check them out. They're a great addition to your practice. So again, like I said, this is a 3-day challenge. If you haven't had the chance to check out our day 1 and day 2, a 10-minute and a 20-minute easy yoga beginner sequence, check those out. We'll be building today on everything we did in those 2 videos and adding a little more. So let's get started again. We're always going to start just taking a few breaths, letting our body relax a little, let ourselves regroup. And one of my favorite positions to do that in is child's pose. So as you know, child's pose, you can make it your own, maybe stacking the hands to start off. And don't worry if your hips don't pull back to your heels. Again, that takes time. The most important thing is that we can soften our shoulders and lengthen our spine. So take a few breaths here. Let your shoulders soften. And then let's extend the arms, walk them forward. Hands come down, knees stack under our hips, shoulders over wrists. We're coming back to our tabletop. Now, for those of you who've been with us since day 1, maybe your wrists still aren't feeling great. That's where you can bring in your blocks. Hands coming onto the blocks can relieve a lot of pressure for those wrists if the knuckle variation wasn't feeling the best. So feel free to use your blocks or props there. And again, feel free to place that blanket underneath your knees if you're feeling a lot of pressure there. Let's start with a few rounds of cat-cow. Get the spine moving. Inhale. And we exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right, let's add a little bit of core movement. So on your next inhale, send the right leg long and reach your left arm either down or forward. Lift that right leg, hug the low belly in, keep those toes pointing down, press through the heel. We're gonna hold here this time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. Two more rounds. And now let's come back to neutral. Let's extend the left leg back, reach the right arm forward. Those fingertips can come down, or you can lift them up. Lift the heel, hug the low ribs in, let those toes point down, press through the heel, holding for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and on 1, the hand comes down, the knee comes down. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. And we'll do one more round because y'all have been getting strong these last couple days. Send the right foot back, left arm forward. Maybe you're going straight into that float now. You feel confident. Hug the belly button towards your spine. Reach through the fingertips, press through the heel. Bicep is next to your ear, but your shoulder is softening away. And lower the hand, lower the knee. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. Coming back to our neutral spine. We'll do the left side now. So left leg extends, right arm reaches forward. Maybe you're going straight into that floating arm and leg. Soften your shoulder away from your ears. You reach through the fingertips. Press, press, press through that heel. Hug the low ribs in. Upper back is on. And exhale, the hand comes down, the knee comes down. This time, let's open up our knees, big toes to touch. Find child's pose. Arms can reach forward. If you have those blocks there, you can drape them over the arms, or drape the arms over the blocks. Now inhale, lift up. Let's set our blocks a little off the mat so that we can stretch the arms forward, coming back into puppy dog pose. So make sure you walk your knees in so they're about hips width apart. Arms are forward, hips lift, forehead comes down. Now if the forehead has trouble touching down, maybe this time we bring in that block. You can use that as a rest for your forehead. Really just making your practice your own, modifying where you feel best. Now press into the palms, inhale, lift the head, and walk your hands in. Now here is one of my favorite modifications with the use of blocks. We are going to come up into our downward dog. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer than we have in the previous videos. So I want you to, if you have blocks, hands come onto those blocks. That's going to help give you a little bit of extra lift. Curl your toes under and lift the hips up and back. Now you're pressing into those blocks and it's easier for you to bring your weight back towards your heels. It's easier for you to lengthen through the backs of your legs. Now, if you don't have blocks at home, that is okay. You're still working on bringing your weight to your heels and bending into those knees. That is your best friend here, that bend in the back of the knees. And take one more breath. Exhale, bend into the knees a little more and walk your hands to meet the feet at the back of your mat. Let's find that nice forward fold, reaching for opposite elbows, gently swaying a little side to side. And release the arms. Inhale, roll everything up one vertebrae at a time, finding that nice slow roll. And then let's walk to the front of our mat again. Finding Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are hips width apart or big toes are touching. Feel that grounded sensation through all four corners of the feet. So do that little forward, back, side to side rock. And let your tailbone draw down. Let your shoulders draw up, back, and down. Turn the palms forward a little if you can. And find a little bit of lift through the crown of the head and let the chin tuck. Close the eyes. Feel strong and tall. Feel yourself rooting down through the feet. And then inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands through heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward, bend into the backs of the knees. We're coming through those half sun salutations again. Inhale, hands to the shins. Press into those legs as you pull your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, lift on up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now we'll do 2 more rounds. So from here, inhale, lift halfway. Who remembers what that's called? Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. That's Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart. Inhale, lift and lengthen, maybe look up. And exhale, we fold forward. Last round, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold forward. All right. From here, we're actually going to start low and step our left foot back. Now you can stay here and lower that back knee again, or maybe you're keeping that back knee lifted. Hands come to hips, crescent lunge, option to lift the arms. We are here for 3, for 2, and on 1. Lower the hands down. This time we're gonna step our right foot to meet our left, coming to our down dog. Now option again, if your knees are down, you're coming to a puppy dog or a child's pose. Press into the palms, come up to a tabletop, curl your toes under, down dog, meet us there. Walk your hands to meet your feet again at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bring your hands to heart and walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back. This time, option to lower the right knee or keep it lifted. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, or back knee down. For 3, 2, and then on 1, hands come down. This time, I want you to lift the right knee off of the mat if you have it down. We are going to step our right foot to meet the left, so coming forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. On your exhale, fold. This time we're stepping the right foot back first. Now, as you step it back, I want you to make sure you can ground the whole foot down. So we're coming into our warrior 1. Gently rise, lift up. And again, make sure that feels like a solid stance. No tightrope. We want those train tracks. And to feel grounded, lift through the arms. Bend into your front leg. On your exhale, we lower the hands down. We are all going to step back either into a puppy dog or a down dog. So this can be the hardest part. So that's why I always give you the option to lower the back knee down. You can bring both knees back and then find down dog. Or if you are doing the step back from your warrior 1, hands can be on blocks, gives you a little bit more space, and you can step back. Let's all walk our hands to meet our feet at the back of the mat, finding a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's come to the front of the mat. When you're ready, inhale, reach through the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Now, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, hands come down, and we step the left foot back. Ground the whole foot down. Inhale, come up, warrior 1. Hands to hips or lifted overhead. Holding for 3, for 2, and on 1. We exhale, lower down. This time, we step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, release the hands. We're going to turn to face the right side of our mat again. And if you want to use your props, you are welcome to. So we're facing that right side and we're stepping that right leg out nice and wide. So this is where blocks can come in handy. They bring the floor a little closer to you. So look at your toes again. Make sure they're drawn slightly in rather than out. And then hands can be on blocks or the floor. Feel long in your spine, whether you're folding forward or reaching through the crown of your head. And as always, take that bend in the back of your knees if your hamstrings feel tight. And we're here for 5 breaths together. Now take your hands and your blocks, if you have them, and we're gonna walk to the front of our mat. Turn the left toes forward. And I want you to lower your right knee down. All right, we're all getting into that lunge. Press down a little into the top of your foot. Hands can come to hips, they can reach up, or maybe you're staying forward today. That's okay. We're here for 3 more breaths. And then on our exhale, I want you to bring your hands down to frame your foot. We're going to walk our hands back and find a little half split. So this is called Ardha Hanumanasana, so half split. Keep a soft bend in that knee and let the toes gently draw back. Now, if the floor feels far away, that's where our blocks can come in, because we want to keep the spine long and we also want to stretch through the back of our leg. We don't want to have to be worried about reaching towards the floor. On your next inhale, bend into the front leg. Hands come forward, blocks can come forward. Now let's bring that left knee back. And we'll switch, right foot comes forward. So sometimes it's nice to take your right hand to your hip just to move your arm out of the way. Or another option is to bring to plant your hands here and bring your foot out to the side, then heel toe it in. Because it's not always easy to step underneath our body. Oh, we got a little spider here. All right. Now again, hands can stay down as you stay in this lunge. You can bring them to your hips or reach up. Exhale, bring those hands back down and begin to walk them back. You can bring your props with you if you have them. And again, soft bend in that right leg, draw the toes back, heart forward. You don't need to walk your hands too far forward. We want to just keep them about under our shoulders for right now. And then on our next inhale, let's bend back into that front leg. And bring your right knee to meet the left wherever you'd like. Now, take the hands down. Take a few rounds of cat-cow, whether that's hands on props or hands down on the mat. And take these as slow as you can. Really stretch out that lower back. You might even close your eyes as you do this movement. On your next exhale, let's come back to neutral. What we're going to do now is gently bring our feet off to the side and find a seat on our mat. So from here, we're going to do a couple cool down poses. Our first pose will be a forward fold. Now, I always like to move my sit bone or move my glutes out of the way so my sit bones can feel a little more grounded. I want my tailbone to feel like it's reaching down. I don't want to feel like I'm moving my hips forward too much to facilitate this fold. Hug the belly button in towards the spine. That's going to keep a little bit more length through the lower body. Now, start with your hands near your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, look past your toes as you fold. Now, see where you end up. For a lot of people, if this is the first time you're doing a fold like this, you know it's going to help, just like when we're doing our standing folds, bending those knees. You can take your hands to your thighs, to the backs of the thighs. You can give yourself a hug or bend the knees enough so that you can reach the outer edges of your feet. So I'd rather have you either holding on to the outer edges of your feet or wrapping your arms around your thighs than stretching the arms out weirdly. I want you to keep everything nice and long. And I want this to feel good for you. So good for your lower back, good for your spine, good for the backs of your legs. And then you can close your eyes and then relax the chest and chin. We're here for 3 more breaths. And release your arms. Walk the hands back to the hips and slowly lift the chest. Now from here, we're going to do another forward fold. You're going to start by bringing your right foot into your left thigh. Now, if you tend to have tighter hips, tighter legs, a great option is going to be using that block or that blanket to support that outer thigh. Because if that leg can't come down, it's floating up, and that's putting a lot of tension and pressure there. So we want to support the body. Keep that right foot to the left inner thigh, and then make sure your left leg is no wider than your mat. So you either want it coming straight out of your hip or a little bit off to the side, but not too wide. Turn so that the center of your chest lines up with your knee. You're trying to make a nice, perfect line. Hands start close, just like in our other forward fold, and you look past your toes and then walk your hands forward. Now here, let your hands land wherever they feel most comfortable, whether that's palms down, hands to foot, to ankle, whatever feels best. Maybe it's keeping those hands in close to the hips. And let's settle in here for about 4 breaths. This is head to knee or knee to nose pose. And walk your hands back in. All right, let's switch. Let's do the other side. So right leg long, left foot comes in. And again, maybe your left side also is feeling tight. So let's support that leg. Make sure that your right heel isn't wider than your mat. And turn to square yourself off. Hands come in and we begin to fold forward, looking past those toes. Begin to walk your hands forward. See where you feel most comfortable with your hands. It could change day to day. And then look down a little towards the knee. Gently walk the hands back in. Slowly rise on your inhale. Move your block out of the way. Let's send our legs forward. We're going to now find a seated twist. I want you to bring your right foot in. So you can plant that foot down to the inside of your thigh or cross it over. But I only want you to cross it over if you can fully plant that foot down as flat as your palm on the mat. If any part is lifting, keep that foot to the inside. Now, curl the left toes back just a little bit. And inhale, lift through the crown of your head. Now you have 2 options for your twist. You either go left or you go right. You either do a closed twist or an open twist. Now you'll usually want to take that open twist if your back is giving you any issues, or you find that doing the closed twist just automatically feels uncomfortable. Now you can start today just giving a gentle hug to that right knee, and whatever hand isn't holding onto the knee, that hand is coming behind you. And it's helping us to broaden our collarbone, but we're not dumping weight into that hand. Our fingertips are light, and it's encouraging us to sit up tall. Look over that back shoulder. And we're here for 5 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale, gently unwind, and we'll switch it out. Left foot comes in, an option to cross it over. Curl the right toes back. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, either twist to your left or your right, whatever you didn't do on the other side. Gentle hand behind the body, letting you sit up tall. Broadening through the collarbone. And let's slowly unwind. Release those legs, give them a nice little shake, a little shimmy. And then we're going to make our way onto our backs. So from here, scoot your hips in, lower down, and give your knees a little hug. You can take a few rocks side to side. And then when you're ready, we're gonna find happy baby. So a lot of people always say you have to hold the outer edges of your feet. However, that can make a lot of us lift our lower back off the floor. So I want you to start with your hands to the backs of your thighs and just the weight of your arms pulling those legs in, letting that be enough to keep the lower back down. Now, if that feels pretty good, maybe you walk your hands up the calves to the ankles. Maybe you can go for the outer edges of the feet today. Just see what feels best. Some days I love giving my thighs a hug and rocking there, just relying on the toes curling back to help give me that stretch. And you can rock a little side to side. It's my favorite way to end my practice. I hope it becomes yours as well. And then when you're ready, you can release the legs. And you can stay on your back for a little bit or gently come up to your seat. So you did it. You finished all 3 days. You've done 30 minutes of yoga. Wow. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And again, you can always come back to these videos just to check back in, refresh yourself. It's a great challenge to do because this is made for everybody. So share this with your friends, get your family to do it. I know we've all been stuck with them for a while in the house. But again, thank you so much for joining. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like to learn. If this is something you want to continue to have me do, you can mention it in the comments below. And again, thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Jenny, and this is Yoga with Jenny.